Why did McDonald's get rid of Officer Big Mac? Was there a beef between him and Mayor McCheese? Did he have to turn in his badge? All these questions and more are about to be answered. Here's the real reason McDonald's left Officer Big Mac in the dust. Even in McDonaldland, there was a need for law and order. It came in the form of one man, a certain Officer Big Mac. You'd often find him patrolling the streets of McDonaldland, making sure everyone was kept in line.
You really think he'll make it to McDonald's?
I hope so.
Was he a good cop? Unconfirmed. He was pretty effective at keeping the Hamburglar and Captain Crook at bay, so there's that. Ray Kroc, the founder of McDonald's, shared a philosophy with Walt Disney. He believed brand loyalty could be established in 2-year-olds. As the 70s began, the hamburger chain sought to hook kids early. McDonald's beckoned them under the golden arches with a cast of theoretically lovable characters, collectively known as McDonaldland. The lineup featured characters like legendary clown Ronald McDonald and a 4-armed purple blob named Evil Grimace. Also among the McDonaldland gang was, yes, a cop with a Big Mac for a head. A clever marketing campaign for a sandwich that had been introduced only 4 years earlier. Officer Big Mac was somewhat reminiscent of the Keystone Cops, an inept, purely fictitious police force from the silent movie era. Where there's a cop, there are criminals. Enter the Hamburglar, a confirmed dirty dealer who loved to steal McDonald's hamburgers. He was originally named the Lone Jogger and looked absolutely terrifying. Though his look was softened several times over the years, his MO remained the same.
Your Honor, the accused Hamburglar was caught red-handed, sneaking off with a big bag full of McDonald's delicious cheeseburger.
Then there was Captain Crook, a pirate who spent his days chasing filet-of-fish sandwiches. It was up to Officer Big Mac to keep these crooks in line, but did he succeed? Hard to say. Prior to launching the McDonaldland campaign, ad firm Needham, Harper & Steers reportedly approached the creators of children's show HR Puffinstuff about collaborating on a McDonald's campaign. The firm then told creators Sid and Marty Krofft that the plan wasn't happening. Well, not long afterward, McDonald's launched McDonaldland, featuring a cast of characters that looked suspiciously like the gang from HR Puffinstuff. A lawsuit followed, and one of the allegations suggested that Mayor McCheese and Officer Big Mac looked almost identical to HR Puffinstuff himself, which, we can kinda see it. Ultimately, McDonald's lost the lawsuit and was ordered to pay over $1 million in damages. Miami was a rough place in the 1980s. The international drug trade had made the city the murder capital of America, and the rampant crime inspired classics like Miami Vice and Scarface. Even Officer Big Mac fell victim to the seedy city. According to Thrillist, a 5-foot fiberglass version of Officer Big Mac mysteriously went missing from a Miami McDonald's in 1983. A group called NPLO claimed responsibility for the crime. Perhaps NPLO was a ruthless drug cartel. Perhaps the name stood for No Pickles, Lettuce, Onions. Details have been lost in the sands of time. The ransom note demanded 40 billion Big Macs and 40 billion plus 1 French fries. The request was ignored, though it sounds very delicious. This particular statue of Officer Big Mac was never seen again, but we imagine that someone out there knows something. If you or someone you know have any details about the missing Officer Big Mac statue, please notify your local McDonald's at once. One of Officer Big Mac's more memorable relics was his playland structure, widely known as the Big Mac Climber. According to a 1999 story from the South Florida Sun-Sentinel, over 400 children were injured as a result of this thing, which led to skull fractures, broken bones, and concussions. McDonald's reportedly didn't report the injuries and instead just phased out the Big Mac Climber, and the chain was investigated by the U.S. Consumer Product Safety Commission. The result was a $4 million fine, the largest fine the CPSC had ever assessed at the time. In the mid-80s, McDonald's phased out some of the lesser-known McDonaldland characters. One of the casualties was Officer Big Mac. No official reason for the move was given, but theories abound. Some people suspect that McDonald's axed the characters that most closely resembled the creatures from HR Puffinstuff. According to the TV Tropes website, the 1985 discontinuation of these major characters were the result of the lawsuit we mentioned earlier. Whatever the reason, Mayor McCheese, Officer Big Mac, Captain Crook, and the Professor were no longer welcome in McDonaldland. We do wish them the very best of luck in their future endeavors, and please contact your nearest McDonald's if you have any questions. Have you ever checked the Officer Big Mac entry in the McDonald's fandom wiki? We check it first thing in the morning for updates, and we can confirm there's one great theory as to why the character was ultimately retired, which says he was a crooked cop, often letting Hamburglar and Captain Crook go due to them paying bribes to him. It is believed that he started a sentient burger trafficking ring. The post goes on to say that the death of Officer Big Mac was the result of an unfortunate shootout with Mayor McCheese, allegedly the result of a bad trafficking deal. He's listed as survived by a widow and 58 children, all of whom we presume are absolutely devastated and absolutely delicious. Check out one of our newest videos right here. Plus, even more mashed videos about your favorite fast food chains are coming soon. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell so you don't miss a single one.